SPS Canada, your partner in migration.
Good morning from Canada to everyone, and very good evening to all the participants who have taken a time out as we just Olympic 2020 opening ceremony is going on, and all the best to both the teams of India and Canada, and looking forward to see medals for both the country. And my sincere gratitude to ICBC-Gujarat Regional Chamber of Council for making this event happen and bringing me on a speaker series. And special thanks to Chiranjeev. I mean, he's a long-term friend, and when I see him taking a charge at ICBC, and I was very excited that ICBC will bring a lot of value to the Gujarat member and a Gujarat regional, and lot of connects he will bring it, because mine and his relation go back when he was visiting the Global Summit EO. I think it's almost a decade back, and we share a lot of visions how we want to help young adults, because decade back, I mean, we still call ourselves young, but the networks we are associated are with super seniors, and at that time what we shared was like how we can help young Gujarati entrepreneur, bring them on a right platform where they can take the advantage of our knowledge, the connect, the network, the policy, and ICBC is one of the best platforms. So that makes me very excited when he took this charge, and he started to deliver what he visioned at that time. Again, ICBC, as we all know, is dedicated to economic bilateral relationship between Indo-Canada business corridor. Their advocacy and core values are commendable. So that gives me very excitement and immense pleasure that you guys invited me. Honor is mine to be on your platform as a guest speaker, and I will do my best to give some value and a knowledge as of today what Canada business in an immigration aspect. So the first thing I would like to do is I would like to take the liberty of rephrasing our today's talk, expanding business in Canada through immigration stream. I firmly believe if you make your business plan right, immigration is going to follow you. And that is what the core, I'll bring it to the whole presentation of my slide, to educate the right business, the right immigration program, and how which team you should be participating with, who should be on the knowledge side you want to use it, whom you should trust. Trust is the key factor. I mean, nowadays what's happening is, the online world is enough of resources, but where is the trust? The trust is where you take it through the platform as ICBC and their guest speakers, me as a starting, and then they keep bringing up more. So they add a lot of value to make your business expansion plan with the immigration aspect easily. So without further ado, let me bring the slide on the screen and give a brief presentation, and then during the course, if you have any questions, please let us know if I'm unclear about any of my subject or topic, and at the end we will have a Q&A. I'm going to briefly cover those aspects of businesses in Canada, the opportunity which you can link it to business immigration stream. I will quickly like to brief up what businesses in Canada are as of now. So Canada is a home to 1.2 million employers, and 1.23 to be very specific, and 97.9% is small businesses. And medium enterprises are 1.9% of representation, and large business is 0.2. So the reason of this to show is that right away you can look at your own business and you can see where you're going to fit in. And as the number itself speaks, that we're going to be in one of the small businesses. And for small businesses, Canada government in this pandemic did wonderful to support them. So that itself is like, okay, I have a backbone of my government. This is the to-be place to have your business. Canada-India trade, we all know, together we do more than 10 billion of trade. Compared to the expectations from both countries, there is a lot of room to grow. So definitely, when there is a growth opportunity, we have to dive in as a business and expand our horizon and reach our as the both country does well. Your business is going to expand regardless. Some of the India-Canada key relations as of December of 2020, India is Canada's 9th largest export market and 10th largest trading partner. India, as of the data 2019, is the largest source of international students, and I believe we are maintaining that as we speak now as well for all the Canadian colleges and universities. So India is the biggest exporter of international students from a skill prospect for higher education. Because of the strong ties between two countries, and Canadian High Commission has a strong presence in New Delhi and Chandigarh, and through their presence across the nation, they have a trade commissioner office, Government of Canada Trade Commissioner office all over India. Ahmedabad is one of them. So they have never oversee the Gujarat, because Gujaratis are born entrepreneur and they don't want them to be deprived, or they don't want to be deprived of this business skill to migrate to Canada. Canada is a home to the South Asian community. We represent a good diaspora here, and we share a lot of cultural and political platform between the two countries. So these are the keys which makes us a very promising community to Canadian government in terms of businesses and how we want to get merged with Canadian community with our business skills and scope of all further developments. Business immigration. To brief it, like, there are two ways. Federal government, so that gives you opportunity to operate your business from anywhere in Canada, has few federal direct program which can help you migrate the program. Provinces are very attractive to invite business investors to their province through their entrepreneur programs. Province has further extended their reach. They want to develop their rural areas, and they have a rural entrepreneur program as well. So what this gives us a message as a businessman to us is that they are willing to invite to their community and want us to be the part of their growth. So now it is subjective to us which business path we take and which opportunity of immigration stream we take to achieve our goal of having an expanding business and immigration. For this presentation, I just narrow it down the programs which can be your pathway to your Canada immigration goal. One of the program, it's not a direct program, it's a pathway from temporary foreign worker to permanent residency. This program has been echoing a lot since it's a fastest way, but they have taken away the LMIA department has taken away the variation of owner operator, and I'll explain that in the further slide. Startup visa, that's the hidden gem if you do it right. Provincial business immigration, all the provinces of Canada, as I said earlier, is overwhelmingly wants you to be part of their province, and for that, with the do's and don'ts, their province demands, they are seeking investors in their province. The other few programs, the three I'll highlighted, which is the tab 4, 5, and 6. International students, as I said, is the biggest migrants, temporary migrants from India to Canada, and provinces recognize their entrepreneur skill. And as a parents or grandparents, you can see your business expanding through your son and grandson after studying in Canada. They can use this stream as a young graduate entrepreneur program, which in my opinion can fulfill two things. yes, your kid is getting educated in Canada through his and bring his entrepreneur skill on the table. With your support, he expands your business in Canada, and that facilitates the whole corporations, both, and like your, yeah, his parent companies to his own setup in Canada, and there can be a good subsidiary relation which expands the business and can also expands your and meets your immigration needs as well. So two of the popular provinces, Nova Scotia and Manitoba, has initiated that. Alberta Foreign Graduate Startup Program is something to start up, but that is focusing young graduate, and it's a provincial nominee program compared to the startup visa stream, which is a federal. Provincial nominee programs, as I said, all the provinces are very open to business entrepreneurs, and they have their own PACE nominee programs, rural entrepreneur programs, which we can take advantage. Keeping the time as a constraint, I'm not going to go in depth of all of them, but I mean the two slides itself says that Canada is open to businesses. Canada wants you to be here, but make sure you do it right way. Everything else will follow. In next few slides, I want to go through some of the fastest program which we were taking the route. Temporary foreign worker program, which is work permit to permanent residence pathway program, was very popular because it was a fast track. Businesses were business immigrants were able to take this as an opportunity. But since April 2021, and my focus today is to bring you what is today, because immigration is revolving, public policies are revolving, the economic needs are changing as we speak, and that's going to make Government of Canada do certain things and bring the changes overnight. And one of the reflection was on April 2021, they took away owner operator LMIA work permit to PR program. So they didn't took away, they took the variation away, I will say. So if they take that variation away, what are the alternatives a businessman has it? Still we have three streams, the regular LMI stream. So when the variation is away, the regular LMI stream becomes a little challenging for us to present why you to be a temporary foreign worker and get migration. And I'll go in depth in next slide. Intra-company transfer is also a hidden gem, but again, if you put a stepping stone right, then only the intra-company transfer relation will be established. Just a small example that will clear out the intra-company transfer subsidiary relation. You have a company, you are a sole corporate owner of a company in India, private limited. You had an opportunity to visit Canada, and with the assistance of a Canadian citizen, or you opened a whole Canadian subsidiary corporation, and then from your India personal account, you give a startup fund to your Canadian company, and tomorrow you are asking your head company, one of the CEO or managerial director, to go as an intra-company transfer to further develop your Canadian company. There is no subsidiary relation. There is no ODI involved. As soon as your Indian company has to do overseas direct investment and have to report it to your income tax department that we have a subsidiary in Canada, this much initial startup loan has been given until that business kicks up, right? If you prove this establishment in the primary stage, you have both the companies will share your key resources anytime you want within 4 to 5 months. And that eliminates the LMIA, that eliminates the recruitment efforts, and it may, because I mean, we as a businessman knows that we need resource today than tomorrow, right? So, and this will be the best way to have your resource travel between two companies and expand both the horizons at the same time. And we will cover this later as well. But then again, the whole key topics comes back to me is do the right thing first, rest will follow. Option self-employed and entrepreneur program also is the alternative to owner operator. I just want to continue with our tab A, which is a regular LMI stream, because I want to briefly educate you the process. So the echo of owner operator pauses here, and you take this stream regularly and do a lot more due diligence before you taking this route, because you'll be still going to hear from a lot of people that yeah, you can still have, oh, buy a business of $100,000 and your whole family will migrate. Yeah, I mean, it's a in a way of a general regular term, this will happen. And if you will go on IRCC website, you will see the LMI stream. But what is the due diligence? What you need to do, right? There is, before we used to offer you a lot of startup businesses and bring you through owner operator program, but now that we had the variation of owner operator taken away, now you need to have an established business in Canada, and you have to understand what does the established business in Canada means. Established business in Canada means you have an active company in Canada who is the business is having a daily operations. You have a Canadian employees working for you. You have filed your first year of fiscal year of income tax. So if you in the middle, if the corporation just have an unaudited financial document from your chartered professional accountant, those are not the enough documents for this department to validate the legitimacy and the active business. So you need to have a one fiscal year done. So and then if that legitimacy is there and you see a need is there, because ultimately you want your operations on both end, and as a key executive of the company, no one else can replace your skill. But now, because of the LMI program become regular, you have to make sure that there is no Canadian or permanent residents who can take that job, because one of the regular LMI programs guideline for officer to see is, if there is a one Canadian anywhere in Canada who can do your role, even if you are owner of the company, they will not give a positive decision on your LMI request. So when you are seeking an opinion, they ask you to do recruitment efforts, a proof of recruitment efforts as per their guideline, starting from Job Bank of Canada to other portal mandatory requests. And if we are your partner in this journey, definitely we will make sure that no criteria has been overlooked. And once you do the recruitment effort, definitely, I mean, even we are assisting companies today, as soon as even we put the job posting for executive directors, managers, senior managers, IT people, thousands of resumes kicks in. I mean, their HR manager get flooded screening those applications. And the flood is not from outside only, it's within Canada as well. Because through the mainstream programs, we are still bringing a lot of migrants, and they come with a high skill experience. So they have a first right for this position if they meet your position's requirement. So screening process is very tough, and now where the variation is taken away, this becomes your due diligence and your role becomes more important. Once that can pass out, and if you still prove it that as a owner or as a businessman you are still the right fit for this position, you will have a favorable positive LMI decision. What that LMI positive decision can get you, I mean, of course, yes, you get a work visa for you, spousal work, open work permit for you, your kids can get study permit. So yes, if that opinion is positive, whole family can temporarily can migrate on a temporary visas, which is work, study, or just travel visa. And if you meet the economic class program, which is right at the time of LMI approval, you might be qualifying for federal skilled worker. So even by the time your work visa is approved, your permanent residence file through a federal skilled worker is a half a way as well. So by the time you arrive in Canada, in a couple of months, you might have a residency there. If not, then you still can, if you're now in Canada working on your own company, that will give you the opportunity to gain additional points and open up a within Canada immigration class program, which is very popular. It's called Canadian Experience Class, and that again goes through Express Entry, and you will still get a PR. If that's not the case as well, depending on where your business is and the province you are in, I mean, the Provincial Nominee program will also support you, because again, hey, you are a successful business owner in Canada or in any province, and they don't want you, by you depriving you, will take the employment opportunities which your business is giving to their community going away. So those options will also remain there. So that way this program is very promising. But again, this variation taken away, a lot of due diligence has to be done before, so that the decision of your application doesn't come unfavorable, and then you have to use alternative ways to maintain your business in Canada. And provincial nominee programs, why we don't see them bringing more table, because most of the provincial programs are through expression of interest, because province knows that you as a businessman, you are the smartest in the world, and to deal with the smartest, they put a lot of condition, do's and don'ts. And to do the do's and don'ts, they brought a system called expression of interest. So to understand your smartness and to funnel them in their community and make them what they want to be, get benefited from your investment and your skill, they ask you to submit expression of interest, and that's where all a businessman stays away from it, because businessmen don't like the limitations. We like free wings to expand our business, and when expression of interest comes up, they ask your net worth, they ask your age, they ask your education, they ask your previous experience, and all these factors, when it's expression of interest, gives points. And when points comes up, you, because of your expertise, I mean, age might not give you a point, so you lose a lot of points. And gaining the points from the variable factors, sometimes you don't meet those criteria, and you don't want to do that business which they are asking you and giving you the maximum points. So generally businessmen stays away from EOI, but sometimes it's a right match and that gets benefited. So again, we will evaluate that if we are assessing you and tell you that, okay, you know, which is the best, fastest way and a business immigration program which can facilitate your business needs. Startup visa, a hidden gem, I say it. Why? Yeah, 5 business owners with their family can secure a permanent residency as a group. Unlimited number of dependent, so your dependent spouse and your dependent child below 21 will be part of this application, and all get permanent residency on the arrival of the approval of your permanent residency visa. No specific requirement. I mean, simplest program to understand is you don't need education, you don't need experience, you don't need funds. The language requirement, even the benchmark level is CLB5, and I'll break it down what CLB5 looks in our English language test, which is IELTS, which we, as abroad, you are able to take it. The program has as it was a pilot program in 2013, now they made it permanent. So Government of Canada sees very promising results through this program. So success ratio is high. Again, this is a wonderful opportunity where you can decide to live anywhere in Canada. I mean, this is a federal program, so this gives you opportunity to have your startup business, the province which you see as your product or your innovative idea will kickstart. Again, anywhere in Canada. I will also add, maybe you can stay overseas. There is a unless you don't want, of course the residency obligation is a second subject, but I mean, some businesses, if you programs, either it's a LMIA or PNP, mandatory require you to be physically stay in Canada and operate the business. But in this program, you have that variation, which is key. I mean, as a businessman, you want to be sitting on your any of the subsidiaries or head office and still want to maintain the businesses. So that's an advantage. Processing time, again, after your meeting the criteria meets, it can be done in 12 to 16 months. And to even if you have to move yourself or accelerate your entry to Canada, work permit is also an option to once your preliminary approval has been done. So probably 16 months can be reduced to 4 months of your arrival in Canada, but that arrival will be on your work permit. And then down the line, the processing time of completing your PR can be completed within Canada. So your entry can be much faster if your business requires that.
I'm going to intervene here, Mr. Jhala. So the PR that you get on startup visa, is it conditional or non-conditional?
It's non-conditional.
Okay. So that's great. And when you talk about families getting a PR visa, we are talking about the wife and children.
Wife and dependent children up to age of 21.
Okay.
So if your child at the time of processing application is 22 or 23, he is no more dependent in the books of immigration, and he has to look on his own ability to come in. Sometimes it's little subjective. If it's 22 and then there is a reason to prove that he is a dependent, there is a way out, but that's a very special case that we can handle it. But thumb rule is 21. If your child is 21 below, he is part of your application. Let's say you have innovative idea. It can be globally scaled. It will create opportunity. We get the UI. What as a business qualification you needed? As I said in beginning, in a one innovative idea, group of people of 5 can have one innovative idea. But that 5 must have a 10% voting right in that corporate startup visa corporation which they are going to form. And with the designated AO, they are venture capitalists, angel investors, or incubators. The overall voting right of the corporation should be 50% and more. So that's if we are part of this journey, we will make sure that you do. So a lot of preliminary homework will not be your subject of concern, because we will be there to get it simplified. But yes, 10% of voting right, you should have it. You are required to get the support from the designated organization. There is a settlement fund requirement. Every applicant, depending on the size of family. So if your size of family is 4, the chart shows, and this is the most recent because this has been implemented a few weeks back for most of the economic class programs and other programs which goes through express entry. So you might like to save this slide for your reference. If you are in the middle of a process of settlement funds, you might need to update those funds as per this requirement. Who are these DO and how to approach them, and how is it easy to reach out? Easiest way to and the right way is to go to the canada.ca, search for designated organization, and they have been tabbed out in 3 angel investors. Let's start with the head of it: venture capital, angel investors, incubator. So now your first question will be who to contact. Should if it says incubator doesn't has to pay, so he will be the easiest one to give the approach, right? These are the 3 organizations you have to first approach when you want to use startup visa as your program. Whom to approach? If you say that incubator doesn't have to pay the money, he will be the easiest guy to sign a letter of intent. No, you go to incubator when you just have an idea which you want further to be developed, and you need the tools and guidance to make that idea happen as a business. Then the incubator is the right DO to approach. Angel investors, either your business is developed or it's in a developing stage, you approach them and they will be happy to look at your business plan or a one-page liner or the whole business plan. Venture capital, you only approach them when in a one part of horizon you have for example, Amazon India only, and now you want to make it Amazon global, they are the right ones to approach, because they are the one who will right away like to jump in. It's like going to Dragon's Den and all the 4 dragons wants to invest in you. So if you're established business, venture capital is the right DO to approach. List of this all DO is long. How to approach them? Like, you don't want to waste months and months and months to just try to reach out to them and pitch it out. The 2 common ways. The one is direct approach. Go through their website, follow their contact details, and go it from there. But in my practice, I have seen that is very challenging, because as they are sitting on the Canada Government of Canada's DO list, every day they are getting flooded business interest. Sometimes even if your business interest is right, it didn't reach up to their assessment to look at it. Look at the trust issue and verify their authenticity, and then only work with intermediary, because I've seen more burning through intermediary than even a direct approach. Direct approach is, you know that it was difficult for you to do it, but when intermediary give you, give me $200,000, I have an idea as well, and I have the DO to sign the letter, we'll do it in 2 months, and 12 months you are here. I mean, I'll stay away. When something is too good to believe and it happens, then as a businessman, I'll say, no, there is something cooking. I don't see it, but I smell. If I smell something, I don't want to be part of it, because it's important for me. I'm making a foundation for my business, for my migration, and I don't want to be the part of the wrong team where I get burned out. So we'll pick the intermediary wisely. Here we can play the major role for you to at least give you a right trusted way or the connect to connect them, and that's what our primary role is, to introduce you to the right team, because right team brings the right success. Processing time, once the whole letter of intent has been issued and the application is processed, the fastest we have seen this application has been approved is 12 months. Even if your business needs you the faster than this processing time to accelerate, we have bring the startup visa applicants on a work visa as well. So that gives us 4 to 5 months of fast arrival in Canada, right? So that's the brief of startup.
I have one interesting question here, which will be very good. Is, can a work permit person open a business in Canada?
Definitely, yes. Now, two ways to look at it. When you have a work permit, you have a temporary SIN number. You cannot open a federal corporation as a foreign nation, but with a minimum 25% stake of Canadian citizen permanent residents, you can open a corporation in Canada. There are 2 provinces, British Columbia and Nova Scotia. If you want, like says, oh, you want your business to have open here, you don't want a partner, you don't want anybody to have a voting right, then your way to look at it is you can open a provincial corporation. British Columbia is good for that, and you can have, as a foreign investor, you have 100% ownership or 100% shareholder of that corporation. So if you don't want to share your pie, this is the province to open the corporation there, and that doesn't limit your horizon to do a business. But of course, from the tax prospect and the provincial purpose, you will be billed from the BC provincial tax authorities, and how they will do the taxation from that point.
So visitors visa as well. People normally
even without visitor visa, you can open a company here in Canada today, even if you are
but
never
if
been to Canada.
someone is on a visitor's visa, can they get it converted to a work permit, open a business? Is there a process for this?
We have a public policy exemption during this COVID, but primarily visitors cannot change their status from student to from visitor to student or a work permit. You might have seen, I went to Canada as a visitor and got a work permit, but that was not a direct pathway. They used the flagship flag polling process. They exited Canada via our road border and then represented them again to our Canadian authority, and because everything was legitimate, they were granted. But this is not a normal process, right? I mean, you are presenting yourself to our CBSA office, which is Canada Border Securities. This is not their primary job to approve these visas. The primary process and the primary way is to apply to your home country or your country of residence. So if we have seen that CBSA office closest to Toronto is Niagara Falls road border. Those are meant for our NAFTA agreements between US, Canada, and Mexico. So if you are a US citizen and arrives in front of them, that's their part of job to review your application and give you work visa, because you don't need a travel entry. You are exempted from visitor visas. But that was the way around. Representatives have used it. Some were successful, some were burned. So if in current market scenario, I will say that's not the right way to get your visitor to work visa. So support for Canadian business. I mean, if you are thinking of Canada as a business, this is the mobile business partner. I mean, if you download this app, you will get a lot of your answers on your fingertips, right? You can tailor it to your business, right? This is the right platform, and it will answer all your basic questions until you are narrow down your need and prepare it. So if you are thinking of Canada as a business, have this mobile business partner app downloaded, and you will see that everything is at your fingertip. How we did it in this COVID-19 economic response of Canada, I mean, the list of support and subsidiary is a lot, but just to bring the attention for our today's participants, I mean, one of the few subsidies, rent subsidies Canada government gave is up to $300,000 of write-off in your rental expense, $2 billion of regional relief, and then low interest rate up to $1 million for your operational cash. I mean, it's very rare in the business world where somebody can give you operational cash flow loan. I mean, they would like to give you a collateral money, but not the operational. So Government of Canada, through the accelerated sector and credit availability program, they are giving up to $1 million during this pandemic. So, and that list is keeps going on. This is the federal part of it. Then every province has an added tool as well. So, I mean, benefits to small and medium enterprise has become a backbone. Both federal and provincial government did the best to keep the businesses alive and operative during this time and going forward as well. So, I mean, narrowing down which business immigration stream is trending. I mean, we gone through pathway to temporary work visa to permanent residency. We gone through PNP programs, which is in depth, and we can individually assess that. And hidden gem startup we talked about, right? You might have said like, oh, the is startup visa a long shot? If you do it right, it's not, right? Just the pretty idea is not innovative, right? You need to do a lot of due diligence to bring it together and then present your ideas to this DOs who is your whom you want to sign the intent to work with you. And before you come to them, they are big sharks. They're seeing the whole approach from a global prospect. So make sure your ideas is innovative and it's globally competitive. So if you have something like idea of like Amazon, you're sold out. If you have something idea is pretty, it's not going to work, right? I mean, you would have spent a lot of time, and it will not. No one will like to be part of your intent. So again, skill sets. Even though I said it in the beginning to simplify the program. No education required. No knowledge is required. But be wise. I mean, if you're going to presenting yourself, if I have to pitch you my business, I have to make sure that I have an in-depth knowledge of what I'm going to present it to you, because you might have a, I mean, when we sit on the boards with VCs, they just have round 1, round 2, and round 3. I mean, round 1 is the where their key interest comes in, and that's your like a one-time pitch which has to accept them. If you are going in round 2 and round 3, that's where your proposal is going closer to their acceptance. Briefly, I just want to say who we are, what we do, how can be your migration partner. So we are the practicing firm since many years, have global clients, 10,000 plus in my practice for many years. We are delivering clients from India, Middle East, and all around the world. And we are the full serving immigration firm, and we would love to partner in your migration plan. The easiest way for us to reach out to us, and we want you to do the start, is get in touch with us was preliminary assessment. That is the key. That is where you need to be preliminary assessed. We give you options and parameter based on your business idea and plan, and you follow that and you execute the business, and immigration is going to follow, and we'll make sure that your immigration goals follows that. Other ways to connect is social media. I mean, it's a great way to connect and see the updates. I mean, nowadays we are flooded with a lot of public policies. So sometimes if you are in our one of the platform, you have my like 10 posts in a one day, but those are 10 posts are very crucial, and one of them might be one which you will be looking for, right?
Also, you can get in touch by email, specifically for today's attendees. I mean, submitting through that link will be helpful, because then we can always refer it back to the ICBC team as well, and everybody is well informed of how we did and what we are doing, and we can take it further. Right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jhala, for this enlightening presentation and the details that we went into. But I have some follow-up questions as far as startup visa is also concerned. So it's a business, it's a risk. So what if my business fails? If the business fails, if the startup idea fails, what does the PR stay? What if the PR is not processed?
So if PR is highly likely, if you have been DO and if your startup visa has been approved, and now you are in a operational year, and business can fail. Government of Canada knows that no businessman can guarantee the success of his business, which they try to reduce the uncertainty, but but then answer is no. Your permanent, once the super visa pathway immigration has been given to you, so not the pathway but super visa has been given, and you have been landed in Canada as a permanent residence with a group of people and a family, even the business fails, Government of Canada will not touch your permanent residency.
We also have some questions from the crowd. Let's talk about manufacturing. So if people are into manufacturing, if they want to start a manufacturing unit, which visa should they apply for? How to start with that?
So good industry to be in. From my own experience, a lot of manufacturing units and are looking for youth and new I would say mergers and acquisitions to take over those businesses, the old businesses, and run it with their new skills. So opportunity in manufacturing industry, with my personal experience, is huge. Again, the question is how to do it. I mean, what is the priority? If the business is priority and your presence is limited, then you can do it sitting from there. But in manufacturing industry, definitely your presence is key. So what we will recommend is, if you have opportunity and if you have done a business exploration trip, and if you have any manufacturing unit, you have seen it now, you can acquire them through the merger and acquisition. And then because it's a manufacturing, and if you are the technical guy, we would like to bring you to that firm on a work visa first, And then as you go operative and take over the charge on your manufacturing unit, we will make it a pathway to immigration.
So then again, let's talk about investment into Canada. So if one is supposed to buy a real estate or a property, would that count into, will that lead to permanent residency or some kind of immigration as a foreigner? Can I buy land? First question is, can I buy land or any type of real estate in Canada as a foreigner?
So answer is yes. You as a foreign investor can buy and invest in Canadian residential and commercial property. Recently, I'll speak about Ontario because I'm sitting in Toronto, and because of the foreign investment influence, in 2017, Ontario implemented non-residents influential tax, which is 15%. So if you will buy a residential house today, other than the land transfer tax, you will be paying additional 15% of foreign investment tax. So if you want to avoid that, there is a rebate and exception program. Those are linked to your work visa, business immigration, maybe your kid student visa. So if your son or daughter if kids are studying in Canada, you can buy the property through them, and when they get residency, you get that 15% rebate back. So the answer, you can buy it. If you as a businessman you are smart enough not to pay the taxes, then you have to look at that exceptions and take advantage of that.
So then I have another question regarding the investors program. I believe Canada had an immigrant investors program. What happened to that?
So investor program was very popular amongst our all businessmen around the world, but government of Canada realized that it was more in a favor of a businessman than to the economy of Canada, and they put the moratorium on this program in somewhere 2012, and finally they X'd out in 2014. The exception still came up. Quebec investor program it was there thereafter as well, but in current year it is suspended for now. So if federal program, I don't see coming back anytime unless they see that it benefits Canadian economy, which I don't see it, because now everybody is every country's expectation is make in home, like make in Canada, make in Ontario, make in India. So with that taglines of our countries, I don't see investors program will be, because it's a passive program and it doesn't benefit economy, any economy. I mean, specifically when we are talking Canada immigration, it will not help government of Canada. So I don't see that coming back. But Quebec might resume it, but they have already increased your passive investment amount to $1.2 million. But we'll keep an eye on it. If that programs come up, why not? If you have passive investment to do and I don't want to be in the operational side of the business, that's still a good program. But right now, investor program, no.
I believe we are already way ahead of our time limit, but all the questions that I see here, which is related to import export, any businesses that you want to start, I believe an intermediary like ICBC would be a great opportunity to discuss, email us. We are already, there is a website, we are on Facebook. Please approach, don't feel shy. And we'll take up all this with ICBC. We will get you connected with Mr. Jhala as well, if needed. And you already have all the details of Mr. Jhala and his company. So please don't feel shy to contact anyone. And I believe, Mr. Jhala, this comes to an end, a wonderful session. I would really like to thank you for your time. It was excellent. There was so much to share. I believe our audience also has been enlightened. And it's so good for an immigration expert to come to this platform and just create awareness purely, because we are lacking awareness when it comes to immigration. So thank you so much, Mr. Jhala. You've been an excellent speaker. And if we are going to have an award ceremony, it is going to be you.
Thank you so much, Namrata. Again, I would like to thank you, ICBC, for bringing me on their speaker series and giving me the opportunity to share the knowledge and what to do and what not. I mean, as a businessman, you are all global citizens, so you are more diverse than any other individuals around you, and with that you just need a right platform, and you are connected through right platform, ICBC, and then ICBC is doing their advocacy to bring good uh, a handful and resourceful people who can do a good mentorship. I mean, I want to be your mentor in your journey than just an immigration practitioner. So I make sure that your business expansion plan becomes successful. And then again, as I said, immigration is going to follow you for sure. So thank you so much, everyone.